Guys, all I'm saying, you don't have to believe me, but I am telling the truth. Anyways, this is the Halloween Mask Horror fan. I had a great idea for a Spear Halloween animatronic, and I think everybody would really like this in their haunted house. Especially if they had a large room in their haunted house, they could do this no problem. They could add this prop to their haunted house. So, just finishing my coffee. Um, my idea, you know that possessed girl prop from 2014 that was at Spirit Halloween, okay? The one where you could hang it on the wall and, you know, her head lifted up and she made weird sounds and her mouth moved and she had green slime coming out of her mouth. I was thinking of a better idea, and I think this would just be such a creepy idea. And honestly, I think it would be a lot creepier um, than the one that hanged on the wall. I was thinking, so make a life-sized, like keep it life-size, keep it like the same size or a little bit bigger, and like here's what I was thinking. What if they made an animatronic that walked backwards? And I know how they could do this. They could do this um, pretty easily, and they could use a simple a mechanism. And the base would have to be quite large. And what I was thinking is the base would have to be somewhat a little bit bigger. The base would have to be a little bit bigger because she's not a small prop. So I was thinking she could roam backwards, right? Like she's actually backwards roaming around, and her legs and arms would go up and down like she's walking, like she's crawling backwards. And like her head would spin like Miss Mercy, but her mouth would move. And if I was Spear Halloween, because they're gonna add light up eyes, I would add either the white eyes, or the red, like a darker red. Like we get these possessed props that have light up red eyes, but we don't get possessed like it's always the same color of red. You know, they don't add like a darker red lighting into the eyes. It's always the same color. So, I mean, they could add like a darker red light in the eyes, but they're probably not going to. But like a just a white or a red light up eyes would be fine. But if they don't add light up eyes, Spirit Halloween, I think what Spirit Halloween should do is just add like normal eyes, like just pure white eyes, but like I don't know if that would work either. It probably would be fine, just white eyes, and add like detail. Like they could add detail to the white eyes, you know, and add like clear epoxy to the eyes so they look more realistic. But they're not gonna. They're gonna do the simple way. And the reason why Spear Halloween, another reason why Spear Halloween makes their props cheap, like a cheap price, is they probably want them cheap. So if you want to modify them or upgrade them in a way that they can't, that you can afford it. Um, but that would be so cool to see a roaming prop that actually crawled backwards. And I don't just mean one that's moving around and the arms and legs are not moving up and down. Like that would be so cool to see a possessed roaming prop that actually had like it was crawling backwards but the head spun and like the arms went up and down and her mouth moved, and it could add like the same kind of audio but upgrade it like Miss Mercy's audio is really good, and they could add that bone cracking to the spinning head sound. They can make that sound, but make it different, make it even more gross, you know. And like they can make the growling even more creepy. I think that would be such a scary prop. Imagine having that in your haunted house. It's not going to be the same prop, but this is my idea for just a prop, a possessed girl prop, where she's crawling backwards, roaming around, and she could be a life size, like 5 feet, roaming around, and her arms and legs move, and her head spins, and her mouth moves, and her eyes would light up red or white. I'd say white. And they could add some like they could add either the green slime or add like blood and have like blood going down, coming out of her eyes. It would be really creepy. Like, imagine having that in your haunted house and people are walking in and she's crawling backwards and her arms and legs go up and down. You know, you know how in The Exorcist, the girl's lifting her legs when she's crawling backwards down the stairs, up and down, and her arms. It could be something like that. Not that fast, obviously, but something, you know. And when she bumps into the wall, she go the other way. Now, you would have to have an awful big haunted house. That's the problem. You would have to have an awful big haunted house. And you would want the room, and the problem is you would want the room to be bright, because if someone hits that and knocks it over, it's going to start clicking. I don't even know. I don't think it would even do that, because I find Spirit Halloween props now aren't known for clicking. Not too many anymore. Like the Jumping Pennywise from 2019, it had a couple issues, but when they brought it back in 2020, I think the 2020 model was actually less faulty. And the reason why it was less faulty, because it didn't jump that good. It literally didn't jump that well. It was a faulty design, I guess you could say. The 2020, yeah. The 2020 model of Pennywise, the lunging one, was like really, really shitty quality. Like, it was even more it was even more crappy than the 2019 version. Like, the 2019 version, the only reason why the 2020 version's better, because the speaker sounds way better. But the jumping, the lunging on the 2020 version doesn't work right at all. The 2019 version actually works way better, even though the speaker sounds like garbage. It works way better. Even the mouth on the 2020 version isn't that good. Now the 2020 model, I think they made the red paint on his face the dark red like it is in the movie, because the 2019 version, 2019 version, the paint, the lines and his red nose were like a lighter red. It's not like that in the movie. It's a dark red, a really dark, like a little darker than like a red rose, a little darker. Anyway, I don't know what you would call this, like um why I don't know why they don't make a prop called like repossessed. And I think that would be a perfect example of something that was repossessed. And I had a cool idea for like an insane asylum animatronic where where it's like a guy and he has no eyes. More, what is their name? Distortions made an animatronic for this year where it's like a guy and he's holding his eyes and he goes back and forth. I think they could do something like that, but like he's moving, right? And his head's moving and he's holding his eyes. That would be pretty disturbing. Um, Honestly, like props like that is what you want in your haunted house. It just freaks people out. People get freaked out just looking at that kind of stuff. So why not have a prop? Why does like Spear Halloween doesn't like doing really bloody props, but Bloodthirsty Betty is kind of gory. Um, Demonic Dahlia is kind of bloody, not gory. Bloodthirsty Betty would be more gory than Demonic Dahlia, but I don't know. We've seen a couple, I guess, couple gory props from Spirit, but nothing. That would be like a whole nother level of gory. But honestly, it's in a good kind of way for Halloween. I think it would be really cool. We've never seen anything like that. But if they remake that one where you hang on the wall, it's a possessed prop from 2014. It was a girl, and she made like growling sounds. I think what they should do when they bring her back, add more of the green slime. Like have it coming way down. Like the 2014 version, it just came down to like here. They should make it where it's coming all the way down her clothing. I think it would just be really creepy. I don't know what else they could do, but I mean, she already has enough animation because you can't really make her arms move on the wall. I just don't think that would be a good idea. Um, it would probably end up falling off the wall. So I don't know. I also think Spirit should make a prop that like is on the wall, but it like I don't know how they would do that. Like no, they couldn't do that. Never mind. They should definitely remake Broken Spine Girl. That's another one that needs an upgrade because they could make the back bending animation a little faster than it used to be. Because I just like all the props that have the jumping animation. I would like Crazy Create or Seasonal Visions to make these because Crazy Create made Bloodthirsty Betty, Pennywise, and Demonic Dahlia, and like they're almost as good as Seasonal Visions. Seasonal Visions is a little better quality, and add a little more detail to their props. So I would like Seasonal Visions to make these props. I mean, Bloodthirsty Betty is pretty good quality, but I don't know. I guess you could make her better quality. You gotta upgrade her with your own paint and all that, but I wouldn't want to do that. Um, I would like to like take a. I would get someone to do it for me. The only thing I would do is I would want the eyes not to light up, and I would want actual like I don't know, white eyes or something that's not just red eyes. I mean, you know, you could probably do that yourself. Um, but overall, like, she's a good prop. I'd still buy her if her eyes lighted up red. Honestly, if you didn't want to see the light, you could probably go over the eyes with like a really good quality blood, like fake blood that's really good quality and it's very realistic. You could probably go over the eyes with that kind of blood and you wouldn't see the lighting as much and you could probably cover it with clear epoxy so people wouldn't even notice they're lighting up. But honestly, like I don't mind light up eyes because it just has the classic Halloween feel. Like we're all used to seeing Halloween props have light up eyes, and it depends how they do it. Like if they make eyes like morbid, where you just see an LED light that's a little dot, and when it lights up, that you just see a little dot lighting up in the eye. You can see the actual light out of the eye, and I don't like that. I can see why Morbid ran out of business because that you can't do that. You can't make eyes like that on a prop. It doesn't even look good. Now, if I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look as good as like Spirit Halloween's LED eyes. Those are 10 times better, way better. I love them. Even though some people like them but don't at the same time, I don't mind them. I think they look fine. Um, but yeah, it's hard to say. I think they should change the clothing though on that possessed prop that hangs on the wall from 2014 if they remake it. I think they're gonna remake it someday. I wouldn't be surprised. Broken Spine Girl. Everybody wants that one. And honestly, I think it would be cooler, okay? I don't know if this sounds cool. I think it sounds cool. So what if they made a possessed prop that like it didn't it didn't like it didn't like bend backwards, but what if they made one, okay? It stands backwards, but the whole upper body torso twists the other way and lurches out at you, okay? So it would have the animation of the lurching zombie from, no, the lurching witch or the lurching reaper kind of thing. But the upper body, her legs would stay backwards, but her upper body would twist your way really fast and lurch out at you really fast. That would be a very terrifying jump scare. It would just, it would grab you by surprise because you'd be like, oh, she's gonna bend backwards. But no, her whole upper body torso would turn your way and lurch out, her arms would lurch out at you. And honestly, I'd be the one to come up with that idea. And I think a lot of people would be like, oh my god, that's just such a genius idea. And I think it would be the best jump scare prop Spirit has ever made of all time. And it would be the best jump scare animatronic of all time at Spirit Halloween from Spirit forever. I don't think anything would ever beat it. I mean, something like that, okay? Her body would be literally standing backwards. The upper body would turn my way, like I'm facing right now, but then she would like kind of lean forward and her arms would lurch out at you, and then she would go back in her backwards position, but her legs would always stay backwards. Just her upper body would go like your way. It would be disturbing. Like, it would grab you by surprise, and it would grab it because you would think it's gonna bend backwards like Broken Spine Girl, but then her body twists your way and lurches out at you. That would be good. I think Spirit should do something like that, especially the back. Though I think they should take my idea from the back crawling possessed girl that roams and has up and down arm and leg motion, and the head would spin and the mouth would move. That'd be cool. Anyways, guys, see you guys in another horrifying video.